All right, so basically, let's get right to it. Last week, the IAEA, I believe on Monday, was notified by the Iranians that they have a facility that they're building that's going to be a uranium enrichment facility one day. And then somehow this turned into Barack Obama and Nicholas Sarkozy and Gordon Brown busted the Iranians for hiding a secret nuclear weapons factory or something. How are both of these things true? What exactly is going on?
Well, first of all, there is no secret nuclear weapons factory. Iran does not have a nuclear weapons program. And so, I mean, we have to deal with facts, not speculation, not fantasy, not Obama's faith-based analysis. We need to deal with the facts as they present themselves today. And as we speak, the International Atomic Energy Agency, which is mandated by international law to carry out safeguards-based inspections in Iran, has said there is no evidence that Iran's nuclear program has anything to do with a nuclear weapons program. There's no evidence of the existence of a nuclear weapons program. The totality of Iran's nuclear materials stockpile is under safeguards inspection, is fully accounted for. There's been no diversion of this material. There's simply no nuclear weapons program. Therefore, you can't have a secret nuclear weapons factory, which is, of course, what is being alluded to here by Obama, Sarkozy, Gordon Brown, and others out in the media and the blogosphere.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, but aren't they saying that, well, sure, everything you say is right up until we found out about their secret nuclear weapons factory last week, which makes all of what you just said moot?
Well, again, there's no secret nuclear weapons factory. What we have right now in Iran is a reinforced concrete-based hole in the ground, which the Iranians contend will, in 6, 12, 18 months, house 3,000 centrifuges, which can be used to enrich uranium. That's not a nuclear weapons factory. That's a uranium enrichment plant. In this case, a pilot plant. 3,000 centrifuges, smaller in scope and scale than the existing plant, which is under IAEA monitoring inspections in Natanz.
Most importantly, it's an empty facility. You're saying it's going to be an enrichment facility one day.
Look, the Iranians have declared that they have a facility under construction and that they intend to use this facility to house 3,000 centrifuges for the purpose of enriching uranium. Prior to this facility becoming operational, prior to the insertion of any nuclear material, IAEA inspectors will be on the ground in the facility doing a thorough investigation of what the facility will be used for, how it will be used, where the nuclear material will come, where the nuclear material will go. There's nothing secret here. This is a full disclosure on the part of Iran. The question that is raised is, did Iran disclose this facility in a timely fashion? And that's where the controversy is. We're basically having a debate about a technicality as opposed to a legality, the issue of violation of the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. There is no debate. Iran has not violated its obligations under the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. The legal advisor to the IAEA has made this crystal clear. This is not about a violation. It's about a technicality. Is Iran required to declare the construction of a facility 180 days in advance of any potential insertion of nuclear material, or at the time it declares its intent to produce this facility? Iran
right. Okay, now stop right there. Everybody, if you just tuned in, it's Scott Ritter, former UN weapons inspector. We're talking about Iran and the all the hubbub basically last week and all the new accusations about their nuclear program. And I'll ask you to forgive me, Scott, for playing so dumb at the beginning here. I'm basically, I was just trying to draw out of you at the very beginning there the very bottom line for people who are not familiar with the Non-Proliferation Treaty, who don't know anything about the International Atomic Energy Agency, what a safeguards agreement is, or any of these things. I just want to get the basic level, ground level thing out there. The Iranians told the IAEA, not Obama busted them. The building is empty, not it's making nuclear weapons, et cetera, just to get the basic building blocks here so that we can get into the more technical aspects of the argument, because I think it's important. There's a debate going on right now. I guess you could say it's AWC versus ACW over there at the arms control wonk. They're saying, oh yeah, they're in violation of their technicality, and Gordon Prather's view, of course, is that that's not altogether clear and that kind of thing. But I just wanted to make sure that the audience, can basically get the basics of the story before we get into the hard part. So now let's get into the hard part, and please explain to the people Iran's signature to the Non-Proliferation Treaty, what that entails as far as the safeguards agreement with the IAEA, what the inspections have been up until this point, and then we can get to this debate over the additional protocol and the subsidiary arrangements and so forth, please.
Well, I believe Iran signed the Non-Proliferation Treaty and entered into a safeguards agreement with the International Atomic Energy Agency sometime in 1976, back in the 70s. At that time, when it signed the treaty, it entered a safeguards agreement, and with that comes subsidiary agreements. These are additional agreements between the IAEA and Iran concerning technical aspects of Iran's obligations, etc. One of the subsidiary agreements is Code 3.1, which deals with the issue of declaration of facilities, so that the IAEA can do design, verification, inspections, etc. So they can basically monitor the facility prior to nuclear material being inserted, to the point where nuclear material is inserted, etc., so that they don't have any hiccup in their material balance. The key thing here for the IAEA, and this is what people need to understand, is full accounting of the nuclear material under the nation subjected to safeguard inspections. That's the most important thing. Everything else supports that, and we can't lose sight of that in this debate. And so the IAEA wants to make sure that if a nation such as Iran, who is a signatory to the NPT, is going to build a facility that's going to manufacture or enhance or somehow make use, dispose of nuclear material, that this facility is fully understood prior to the nuclear material being inserted, so that it can fully account for what's occurring to the nuclear material. In accordance with the original subsidiary agreement 3.1 or Code 3.1, Iran was required to declare any facility under construction 180 days prior to nuclear material being inserted, so that Iran, together with the IAEA, could come up with a mechanism of verification and inspection once nuclear material was inserted, so that there could be a full accounting. That's the basic concept there of the safeguards agreements and the subsidiary agreement, Code 3.1. Sometime go ahead.
Oh, well, I was just going to say, wasn't there a thing earlier this year where the United States was trying to get the IAEA to find that Iran had violated that 3.1, and the IAEA's own legal eagle, Gordon Prather called him, their lawyer guy, said, well, this isn't really a violation unless it makes the Director General unable to continue to verify the non-diversion of nuclear material.
That's right. The bottom line for the IAEA, first of all, you need to understand that there are literally hundreds, if not thousands, of technical violations of subsidiary agreements and safeguard agreements around the world every year. The world isn't perfect. Mistakes are made. Some of the mistakes are intentional, etc. But the safeguards inspectors who travel the world and do these safeguard inspections in accordance with the various safeguard agreements between the IAEA and member states, they come across technical violations. Reports are submitted incorrectly, reports are submitted late, et cetera, et cetera. And so to prevent each technical violation from becoming the end of the world scenario,